13 heroic men and women lost their lives in Afghanistan when a terrorist bomber attacked the airport during the U.S. withdrawal and evacuation in Afghanistan. Now, 158 co-sponsors have introduced legislation to posthumously award the Congressional Gold Medal to the 13 U.S. military service members who were killed. Joining us now is a sponsor of that bill, Lisa McClain, Congresswoman from the 10th District. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, I'm well, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is such a tragedy. This whole incident that cost 13 people their lives. But now you guys are doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, I'm very excited and honored to be able to bring this bill to the floor today. And this is not a partisan issue. I have to correct you on one thing. We have 323 members of the House who have signed onto this bill. So in the world of partisan politics, this is clearly something that is bipartisan, and we all agree on to do something for the memory and to hold these people near and dear to our hearts because they did give the ultimate sacrifice. So I'm really honored to do this. It's a little bittersweet, I'll be honest with you, but I'm very happy that the House moved quickly on this. So it's a good thing. It's a really good thing.
It's important. These folks were out there protecting the innocent, putting their lives on the line, as service members do all across the world every day, and they lost their lives. The ultimate sacrifice, and of course they need to be honored. And this is a great way to do that.
And Kevin, I'll add one other thing because I think this is really, really important. Is this was a bipartisan effort. And my team worked tirelessly on this. And I say this all the time, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And I really want to give a shout out to Danielle Brantz, she took the lead on my team. And again, we worked diligently to get this done. And hopefully it'll pass today. It'll move through the Senate with unanimous consent. And the president will sign off on it. And we can honor the memories of our fallen heroes.
Yeah, it's great when everybody's on the same page. That's not necessarily the case with the infrastructure bill and the social safety net reconciliation bill, which is also a big topic in Washington, D.C. this week. Joe Biden meeting with Joe Manchin over the weekend, trying to figure out what it's going to take for Democrats to get on the same page and pass something. Republicans have been on the same page for a long time.
Yeah. We have been on the same page for a long time. Listen, we need infrastructure. Our roads are crumbling. Our bridges are crumbling. But again, what we say is give us an infrastructure bill that actually deals with true infrastructure. And the more I'm learning, they don't even have the framework for this bill. And Biden wants to get this done before he leaves on Thursday. I mean, this is the biggest tax and spend bill in American history, and we want to rush this through. I haven't even seen what's in it. I mean, the Democrats haven't even seen really what's in it. And I think the American people are a lot smarter than the president and the Democrats give them credit for. You cannot say that this doesn't cost anything. That is absolutely ludicrous. And I'll share with you, the American people don't believe it. That's like me going out and saying, honey, I bought a new house, but guess what? It doesn't cost us anything. Yeah, I only spent $2 trillion on it, but it doesn't cost us anything. You're putting it on the credit card. And at some point in time, somebody's got to pay the credit card bill. And the people who are going to pay that credit card bill are the future generations, are our kids and grandkids. So let's deal with true infrastructure, and let's move forward and fix what needs to be fixed on infrastructure, roads, bridges, waterways, broadband.
When you look at, if these were separated and you were just looking at the infrastructure part of this, take out the social safety net reconciliation part of this, do you think there's too much ambiguity and too much fat in the infrastructure alone, that 1.5 trillion for infrastructure? Or is that something that you would vote for?
Yes. I think there's still too much fat in the 1.5 infrastructure bill. 100%. Number one, there's too much fat. Number two, I still don't have the pay-fors for it. And I don't believe with any fiber of my being that it's free. Because remember, government does not produce anything. They cannot spend $1 of which they have not taken from somebody else. And that is going to come in a form of tax. And at the end of the day, what we're dealing with is we're dealing with a fight between big government. The socialists want big government. They want big government control. I believe in the people. I believe people should have control of their lives, of their finances. I don't believe government knows what's best for my children, or I don't believe government knows how to spend my money. I believe the people know how to spend their money. And with 10% of the Americans even having a clue what's in this infrastructure bill, why are we rushing it through?
Do you think that billionaires and corporations are paying their fair share in taxes, or do you think they should be paying more?
Well, as a business owner, one of the biggest things that I think we miss is without businesses, I can share with you, we wouldn't have jobs, we wouldn't have charitable organizations. We paid our fair share of taxes. I can only speak for me. We paid our fair share of taxes, as well as we reinvested in our communities, we reinvested in our people. And let's not forget, if this tax and spend bill goes through, we will have a higher corporate tax rate than communist China. And we're supposed to be capitalism and free markets, and we believe in freedom. If this bill goes through, the corporations, the producers, will pay more than communist China.
Is it fair for corporations to then pass those taxes down to consumers?
Well, I think if you look at what happened with the Trump tax cuts, when you actually moved the tax rates down, the IRS collected more money than the history of the IRS. So at the end of the day, if you want to create more money and more taxes, you have to believe in incentives, because it's a very simple process. If you reduce the tax rates, and I'm on the opposite end, I think you reduce the tax rates for the businesses, because then they in turn pass those tax savings to their employees, who then go out and buy houses, who then go out and buy automobiles, who then go out and give to charities, who then go out and make that dollar, that one tax dollar, they pay taxes on that over and over and over again. As opposed to if you raise the tax rates for the businesses, the government collects that tax dollar one time.
All right. Lisa McClain, Congresswoman, 10th District. We'll be watching this week on the votes. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. We'll talk again soon.